the hand, and today I'm doing a live stream for March of the Machines, going over the new cards. It is really difficult to keep up with Magic just because they keep pumping out crazy new products, crazy new cards, and you constantly have to buy new cards for your deck and switch things in and out. Um, I don't even look at previews anymore just because there's so many different variants now. I actually find myself having to use a wiki um, just to keep pace because I mean, just look at all the tabs we have here. We have Art Series, Multiverse Legends, Welcome Booster, Jumpstart. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. So I'm going to start with the Commander decks, go through this, look for the new card section, and then I'm going to switch to March of the Machine on Gather, maybe, but I'm going to look at the article first just to see if they snuck in any more cards, which they seem to always do lately. Okay, so let's see what we got going on. So we got booster or additional cards here at the top. 6/6 Demons, pretty good. Like, I would play that. I don't know if that go in any of my current decks, but it's definitely playable. So, and I kind of wonder if it's underpowered, honestly. It seems really good, but at the same time, I just don't know anymore because the power level of everything is just so high. I saw this and I was like, that's ridiculous. Enchanted Planeswalker has +1, create 3/1/1 spirit, 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. Whenever you activate a loyalty ability of Enchanted Planeswalker, creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance on a turn. So that is crazy over the top. I don't even know what to think about this. I don't even know what deck it would go in because you would build around a Planeswalker deck in white, which I have thought of before, being able to activate your Planeswalker ability multiple times. It's definitely good. But the thing is it like really good? Is it deck considerable good? And I just don't know. Let's see. -12. Good God. You get an emblem with may activate loyalty ability of Planeswalkers you control on any player's turn. Anytime you can cast an instant. Whenever you draw a card, put a loyalty counter on Enchanted Planeswalker. Well, okay, so the build around Planeswalker thing, that's clearly what this is for. The colors are definitely white, blue, which we already knew that. I think white, blue, green would be the colors of this deck. What do we got here? Enchanted Planeswalker has -8. Put all creature cards from all graveyards on the battlefield under control. Whenever a creature deals damage to Enchanted Planeswalker, destroy that creature. I mean, that's good. So, has +1 up to 1 target creature has +2 and gains first strike until turn. Oh, begin the invasion won't load. Oh, jeez. 5 color. Oh, I'm actually playing these colors right now. So, whenever one or more creatures you control that enter the battlefield this turn. Oh, this is really specific. Deal combat damage to a player. Create a 5/5 red dragon spirit creature token with flying. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. So it's a haste enabler that gives you bonus 5/5 dragons. That's pretty crazy, honestly. Just being very honest, it's pretty crazy. They has to be this turn, which personally I don't think I could do most of the time in the current color deck that I have that, but that's pretty crazy overall. To say the least. I mean, that's pretty crazy too. Just an automatic in the graveyard effect for 4. And you get the sapperling like immediately, constantly. um, I have 3 primary decks right now: green, white, blue, black, red, blue. I don't have anything white, black. Whenever you cast a Phyrexian creature or artifact creature spell, incubate X, or X is that spell's mana value, creating a creature with X counters on it, transform this artifact. That's pretty crazy, actually. That could be your commander. Beginning of each end step, if a Phyrexian died under your control this turn, proliferate. Okay. Oh, that one won't load. That's pretty crazy powered up. So, cast Scrappy Artifact for 1, or something cheap, or I don't know, any artifact. Historic spell, return. Oh, historic is, I think it's legendary artifact. I forget what else it is. I think it's maybe Saga. Oh, it says right here, artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. Okay. Whenever you cast a historic spell, return target non-land permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, exile at the next end step, it will leave the battlefield, exile it. So you just chuck bombs into your graveyard, return them for dirt cheap, and then crush people? I don't even know what to do with this kind of stuff. It's so overpowered. Like, that could be your commander. It could be insane. You can just crush people all day. And you don't even play stuff from your hand. It's just everything goes to the graveyard. Oh, man. Oh, they made a new Titan. That's interesting. Mill 2 cards, incubate ice. Oh, it's still interesting. I like it. Exile target non-land permanent. Its controller incubates X, where X is its mana value. I don't think I'd play that. I wouldn't want to kill something that's like a 7-drop and then have them pay 2 to get their 7-drop back. Essentially. Nothing. Okay, steal a creature card for 5. Will the Planeswalkers. Starting with you, each player votes for Planeswalk or Chaos. If Planeswalk gets more votes, Planeswalk. I have no idea what that means. If Chaos gets more votes or tied, Chaos ensues. No idea what that means. So we have some other new ability. Pull the Planeswalkers, which will need to be explained. I guess I will gather it. Or maybe it'll have extra rules here. Nope. What does this nonsense mean? Will of the Planeswalkers. It doesn't tell me. Oh god. Is this specifically for the dice roll of playing like Planar Chaos? I think it is. It's the only thing I can. Oh no! Back. Whenever one or more Phyrexians you draw attack, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield if its mana value is less than or equal to their total power. Well, that's nuts by itself. Yes, I'd like to return an artifact from my graveyard every single time I attack with this ridiculous creature. And, you know, pump it and make it bigger and return bigger artifacts. Planner cards. Planner cards don't really matter to me. It's kind of a really rare game where I play with them. So for some creature, artifact, incubate 3. Okay. I mean, just to go back quick, like I just don't even know what to do with these new insane all powerful cards where whenever you cast a Phyrexian creature or an artifact creature spell, incubate X, where X is that spell's mana value. It's like, okay. Or this craziness. I think this is pretty crazy. Cast an artifact or a legendary creature. Return target non-land permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, what is the absolute biggest, most expensive spell you can think of? And cast it for free. The volume's low. Let's see if I can do something about that. Let's see. I think this is going to increase it quite a bit. Should, okay, I guess this is as much as I can like up it. So it's 15 decimals higher supposedly. Hopefully that's better. Okay. So we've pretty much come across that these are super duper insane spells now that they reprinted for Commander. Not printed, not reprinted, but printed. Makes you, I mean, I've tried to do the whole white black graveyard thing return before. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. So I don't know. It's just crazy the power level of some of these cards. Let's see. Moving down. Let's see what the next group of new cards is. Let's see. Not loading. Let's see what it does. Okay. Whenever you attack with one or more knights, if Cyberjabar is in your command zone or on the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. So you're automatically drawing and discarding a card in a knight deck. Interesting that they made a new knight commander. Flying first strike deals combat damage to a player. Return target knight creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. That seems really powerful. Like really, really, really powerful. I don't feel like making a knight commander deck, but I'm imagining we're going to see a whole bunch more real soon. I won't load. And what do we got? Tax, you may pay X and 3. If you do, draw X cards. That's interesting. Okay, maybe a little expensive, but it has ward, I guess. At the beginning of each end step, you may pay 4 life. If you do, create a number of 1/1 black vampire knight creature tokens with lifelink equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn. Okay, I get it. I understand that it's powerful. Still not inclined to make knights. Let's see. How will these load? They were loading before. Let's see. Ooh. Let's see. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, draw a card. Okay, I'm on board with enchantment that does that. Discard a card, create a 2/2 white and blue knight creature token with vigilance. So no functional downside and pretty much all upside. Huh. Ah, come on. Won't load at all? Fine. I will just open them all. Make sure I got that one. Okay, it's +1/+1. It's vigilance. Creature attacks. Look at top 6 card of your library. You may reveal a card that shares a creature type with that creature from among them. Put it on your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of the random order. This is actually really good. This I picture this in humans. Like you could easily make a very good human deck and include this. Like even in modern, like I haven't played modern in quite a while, but I'm just thinking like mono white humans or whatever color splash humans is doing these days. Oh yeah, of course this is commander only card, so All right. Even in Commander, I'm somewhat against creature types in Commander, but I could easily see this going in pretty much anything. Um, Drawing your creature type for free every turn on attack, and that's pretty extreme draw. Look at the top six. It sadly doesn't work in any of my decks currently. Hmm. Oh, what happened? Exsanguinator Cavalry. Got no dice on this card. Spelt wrong. Nope. Sanguine. There it is. Whenever a knight you control deals combat damage to player, put plus counter on that creature, and create a blood token. If I was playing knights, I'd be interested. So, Herald of Hoofbeats. Oh, they brought back horsemanship. That's so cool. I love it. Other knights you control have horsemanship. This actually makes me somewhat interested in playing knights. That's so cool. Oh, no, don't need that. Lockwing Lancer. Whenever a non-token knight control dies, each opponent loses one life and you draw a card. There's no downside to that. So target player draws 4 cards. Will Planeswalkers target me? So this is the planner dice. So you really wouldn't play this outside of that format. Oh wow. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/++ counter on each other merfolk and or knight you control. That's pretty baller. I would play that in merfolk. Oh, this again. Yeah, it's pretty good overall. So, no disappointments, that's for sure. Like, at all. Let's see. What we got here? Huh. 2 or more spells this turn. Human Knight, Flying Vigilance. Taps makes another Knight with Vigilance. Alright, what we got? Oh, they're gonna load. Great. I just did some new boosters today, so I'm gonna have to read through these. I know what backup does though. Whenever this creature on target creature, if that's another creature, it gains the following village on turn. I get what this does. It's just, I don't know. It feels a little weird to like do a counter and then give an ability till end of turn. Like they're stacking a few too many layers of complexity onto a card. But then I guess the game just has to get more complex to a certain extent. Okay, whenever this creature attacks, double number +1/+1 counters on target creature. That creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less this turn. So, I definitely had thought about making a doubling counters deck. And I didn't know what colors it would be. Most of the things that double counters are green. Okay? So it's like green X. Kind of want to browse through this deck up here now that I'm seeing this as the commander, just to see what they included. Yeah, there's so many things. Even Ferritilled. Ferritild's amazing. Yeah, I feel like you just buy some of these decks nowadays and use them as a starting point because a lot of the cards you need are just gonna be there already. Like Collodion Hydra. It takes some of the fun out of building the deck though. Like, it's there, it's clearly competitive, honestly. It definitely is. You could pick it up and play and not get crushed. Yeah, Incubation Druid right there. Yeah, they stopped loading again for some reason. That's okay. I got the drift of the gist of it, that is. Well, let's go back to new cards. Oh, not loading. I'll just open them in new tabs. Flying Vigilance. When one or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control, deals that much damage to target opponent. Jeez. I don't even know what to say about that. Adding damage to counters, I did not expect at all. Like, I've definitely tried to do that, and dealing direct damage based on like power of a creature has been a deck idea in the past, and that's usually a red effect. It's usually like a red effect or red white effect, or sometimes red black. But damn. You just do that every turn. That's crazy. It really is. Backup gives something double strike. Has dash so you can do it over and over again. That's crazy. Non-token creatures you control have Riot. The end of battlefield withdraws a +1/+1 counter or haste. Okay. That makes total sense. If a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it would deal damage to a permanent or player, deals double that damage instead. Wow. Let's see. Attacks. For each attacking modified creature you control, create a tap and attack in token. That's a... Holy crap. That's a copy of that creature? So it just doubles your creatures. And if they have some kind of enter the battlefield effect, I imagine it's even better. It only costs 6. Only costs 6. Whenever this creature attacks, return target non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is that creature's power. Okay. So you make it a little bigger with your massive token pumping +1/+1 counter deck. Has 0 downside and gets back all your early game and your late game if you make it big enough. Kind of crazy. This is kind of why I wait to make decks, like wait for a set to finish, because I was thinking of this deck and I had gone through a huge card search and I was just not satisfied in any way with the idea of just spamming out counters. It just didn't work for me. But okay, so that's a doubler. So whenever this creature attacks, double number of +1/+1 counters on target creature. Okay, already looking for that. But that's not what puts this over the top. It's I think it was the next one, right? This one is what puts it over the top. Direct damage for counters. That's what puts it over the top and makes you want to play these colors and make this counter deck. But let's keep going. So got backup 3. This costs 7. Whenever this creature attacks, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is its power. So might end up doing it to itself, honestly, the way I played. If I put this in my green deck, you may put a permanent card with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That's just crazy. So let's just run with it on its own. On its own, it's a 7/7. It attacks and gets you another permanent card from the top of your library that costs 7 or less. Pretty great. I see 0 downside, and I can definitely consider this playing it in my mono green deck. And I really don't want to like look through that deck again and try and rearrange it again to try and fit this in right now. But that power level is kind of ridiculous. It's just, even if you aren't playing with a counters effect to pump it and make it even better, 7 is more than enough for most of the spells. Not all the spells, but let's say you're going to hit something, it's not going to miss. Discard all cards in your hand, add red for each card discarded this way, then draw that many cards +1. Okay. So I mean, when you play this type of card, you probably have like 3 cards in your hand most of the time, maybe 4. So you blow your 3 cards, you get 3 mana, you draw 1 extra card, and it only works well if you have a lot of cards in hand. I don't know if I'd realistically play this. It would really depend on the deck. Like, this is more of a maybe card. What's our last one here? Got backup, backup, backup. They do this all the time with certain green cards. They just space out the effect. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. This reminds me of another card. I can't remember what right now. The other thing I was thinking about was a blink for green to get these effects going. So with all the backup abilities, you have blink on your hand, enter the battlefield on your hand. I don't know, it's just... And it doubles itself. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. So that's... I already play a bunch of different cards like this. It's amazing by itself. If you do the backup to itself, it's a 7/7. You swing, and if it hits, it's going to be 14/14 next turn. Yeah, so power level good, high. But this one card right here definitely would make the deck for me. Like this is the theme of the deck, because I wouldn't make the counter deck, because all it did before for years and years and years was spam counters, double counters, yada yada yada. Direct damage for counters has me interested. You might even put this as your commander. And if it's not your commander, you have a way to tutor for it. The thing is, whenever one or more counters are put on a creature controlled, this creature deals that much damage to target opponent. Very, very good. You can put 5 counters and deal 5 damage. So that's really easy to do. Like, ridiculously easy to do. So you can turn your green spells, which make the counters, into burn spells. I don't know if I'd want this always available, because the thing is, this is super great and all, but if I'm playing green, I can tutor for this. And having this effect always available to whenever this creature attacks, double number of +1/+1 counters of target creature, that's slightly better, sort of. It's really dependent. So they finished a deck for us, essentially. This is what they do now. So there's these deck ideas out there that don't quite work, and they finished it for us. Here we have counters and burn. The up above was knights, and up above that was even more ridiculous, powerful white-black graveyard return. So is there another deck? Let's scroll down. Call for backup. Yep. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Let's see what this one does. Well, let's see what the new cards do. Anyway. Cost 6. Has Convoke. Vigilance, Haste, and Flying. Okay, with Convoke. So that's pretty baller. Whenever you cast another spell that has Convoke, scry 2, and draw a card. So it doesn't draw off itself, but you're probably doing that anyway. Not really interested in basing a commander deck around this though. So let's keep going. I went back to not loading. Alright, let's just open them. Becomes tapped. That's a dirty ability. Like, if you find a way to untap something that says this, dirty ability. Create a 1/1 red human creature token. If this is the first time this ability... resolve this turn. Well, okay, but it has more. Let's keep reading. If it's the second time, create a 1/1 blue spirit creature token with flying. If it's the third time, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Oh, they purposely limit you so you can't abuse it in like some infinite combo. Whenever you cast a spell that has Convoke, Untap, Saint Draft, and Ram Carlos. So it's not abusable, but it is fair. I mean, it's kind of abusable. You can make 3 creatures a turn if you like do this the right way. Untap, tap, untap, tap, untap. So whenever you cast a spell that has Convoke, encourages you to play Convoke. Let's see. Can't be blocked except by vehicles. Okay. Deals combat damage to a player. You may cast, target, instant source card from a player's graveyard. Oh god. I have a whole deck around this and they keep printing new effects now without paying mana cost. And I just redid it recently too, and there's even more cards. Deals combat damage to a player. You may cast or instant source card from the player's graveyard without paying command cost. If you do, if that's what exile instead. So that's crew 2. Very, very playable. Can't be blocked except by vehicles, so it's unblockable. Let's be realistic. Play it in Commander. This is unblockable. I have yet to see a vehicle in a single game. Honestly. I couldn't play this in my current deck though because it doesn't play a lot of creatures, so I won't be able to crew this, unfortunately. The next spell you cast this turn has Convoke after this attacks. Has Vigilance. Not really worth it. Not particularly worth it. Misspell Vanisher becomes tapped. Exile up to 1 target non-land permanent. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. I mean, sure. Definitely abusable. Enter the battlefield effects, abusable. Really, really easy. In combat on your turn, populate create a token that's a copy of a creature you control. Okay, for 4. Whenever a creature token enters the battlefield under control, put a +1/+1 counter on Nesting Dovehawk. So, free token copy every turn. Populate. Creating... Yeah, I like an X spell that just spams tokens that fly, so I'm on board with this. Next spell you cast this turn has Convoke. I don't know if I care for this. Like, how many tokens am I really spamming out? I'm really interested in this deck now. I'm going to have to look at it. When Wildfire Awakener enters the battlefield, create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens with whenever this creature becomes tapped, it deals 1 damage to target player. Okay, there it is. There it is. I was wondering when that type of effect was going to come up. That's the other type of effect you need in a token deck. You need direct damage from your tokens in some way. Because if you're just spamming tokens, it doesn't really work. I mean, it'll work, but you need direct damage. Alright, let's scroll down, see if there's anything else quick. I'm not sure if these are from, I think it's covered in March Machine. I guess they were previews at one point and then they were printed in the actual set, but let's just take a quick peek, see what they are. Some of them load, some of them don't load. Is there another deck? Oh, there's a whole nother deck, jeez. Okay, let's see. Huh. So these are just really from the set, they're just commons and uncommons. Okay. I was thinking about making a really cheap low cost deck with exile draw or something to that effect. Alright, before we go through Tinker Time, let's go back up just to see what we're dealing with here for the token spam. Let's call it token spam. Well, kind of figured this Elspeth would be in there. So they give you all the tools you need. Oh no, it's not loading again. Oh, bummer. How much does that cost? Huh. So everything makes tokens. Or draws cards, or related to making cheap tokens. So they literally give you a playable deck, like I was saying before. Like they used to make really crap decks, but this is very playable. Pretty clear already by just looking at the first couple cards. So power level crazy high. Crazy high. All the new cards. Tinker Time. Let's see what we got down the bottom. 5. Artifact creatures you control have trample at the beginning of your end step. Create a 0/0 red gremlin artifact creature token. Put X plus one on it, where X is the number of differently named artifact tokens you control. I'm sure that's good somehow. I'm sure that's amazing in this deck. It's just a little weird. Where X is the number of differently named artifact tokens you control. So I guess you're making blood tokens, treasure tokens, gold tokens, who knows what other kinds of artifact tokens, and you're just making this huge crushing artifact creature at your end step. So, oh man, it didn't load. So I bet some of these cards are like, I mean, some of these cards have to be crazy powered up. I've been blown away by some of the cards I've seen so far. Whenever you cast your first spell during each of your turns, I never like this wording, exile the top card of target opponent's library and create a treasure token. You may cast the exiled card, oh my god, without paying its mana cost if it's a spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of artifacts you control. If you don't cast it this way, you may cast it this turn. Oh, okay. So that's ridiculous. Just straight up. I can tell you I'm playing a 3-color deck. that plays all kinds of things for free, and this is very ridiculous. Well, let's go through it just one more time. Whenever you cast your first spell during each of your turns, so this is in play. Alright, so it's turn 5. Maybe sooner. I don't know. But let's say it's turn 5. So you just cast anything. You probably have, I don't know, 4 artifacts in play, at least 4 or 5 artifacts in play. You exile the top card of your library. You create a treasure token. Treasure tokens count as a part of the artifact count. So let's say now you have, a guaranteed 5 artifacts. All right. You may cast the exile card without paying its mana cost if it's a spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of artifacts you control. So most of the time you're gonna get that, if not all of the time. That just blows away my current commander. It really does. I mean, granted, it's artifact heavy, and if people start playing a whole lot of artifact hate in your play group, you're gonna get wrecked. I only play 5 artifact hate cards right now, but and then if it's not free, you could still cast it this turn. That's so powered up. Like, you just don't understand how powered up that is. Free spell every single turn. Unless all your opponents turn on you and viciously crush you for your garbage that you keep doing to them. Oh man. What does this do? Tax. Each player reveals top card of their library. For each non-land card revealed this way, you create a tapped treasure token. Then each player draws a card. So very good in multiplayer. Personally would not play this because I don't want everybody drawing a card. Then again, if you're in a 4-player game, you could potentially get 4 treasure tokens off of it. So the upside reward is extremely high. I kind of feel like somebody stole my deck, redid the colors a little bit, and shoved it out as a new deck. I really do, because this is what my deck currently does. To a certain extent. Play things for free. Yeah. Dance with Calamity for 8. Shuffle your library as many times as you choose. Okay. You may exile the top card of your library. If the total mana value of the cards exiled this way is 13 or less, you may cast any number of spells from among those cards without paying their mana costs. That's insane. I feel like I should see, somebody stole my deck and redid it as these colors. I swear they did. Because I did a big search before and pulled out everything for let's see if Moxfield will come up for me. Sign in? No, maybe. Ah, there we go, sign in. Okay. See my decks. So my Lord Xander deck does literally what this deck does. And I searched a crazy number of cards to get these like steal effects the way I wanted them for library steal. And I feel like somebody looked at this deck and like, oh, let's just make an entire deck now, because this idea didn't exist. Like, the parts of this deck came from everywhere, from all kinds of sets, and Now, apparently, you can just get a pre-made deck, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm definitely going to look at this deck. For 8. I mean, I would play this for sure. It's a gamble, though, because as many times as you choose, you may exile a top card of your library. If the total mana value of the exiled cards this way is 13 or less, you may cast any number of spells from among those cards without paying their mana cost. So you keep exiling cards and hope you don't go over 13. Because if you go over 13, it seems like you're screwed. And you paid 8 mana for nothing. But I feel like you gamble and win like most of the time. So I don't know. Maybe I could find a way to squeeze this in. Yeah, I just don't know. What else we got? Whenever artifact is under control, deals 1 damage to target opponent. So, okay. Sacrifice 2 artifacts, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Seems decent. Whenever a player casts their first spell each turn, they create a treasure token. No, you do not give your opponents free treasure tokens. Whenever an artifact an opponent controls put together from a battlefield, deals 1 damage to that player. I don't care if it deals 1 damage to them. You really don't want to just blatantly give your opponents free treasure tokens all the time. It greatly accelerates the game for you, for them, for everybody, but usually for the worse, honestly. You want to do this like one time for like a big hit to get you ahead. Which was that other card, that blue card that was just up. Search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them on the tab shelf of your library. Oh, it's just chaos roll. So, no. Beginning of combat on your turn, bolster X, where X is number of differently named artifact tokens you control. Okay, that's bad. That's decent. I mean, yeah, makes sense. Deals combat damage to player, create a treasure token that's a copy. Wait, hold on. Deals combat damage to player, create a token that's a copy of target artifact that player controls. Oh, that's so dirty. So instead of like stealing their soul ring, you're just copying their soul ring. And you just do it over and over again. Unless they have something better. But in a commander game, to be realistic, you play your 4-drop. It has to hit, granted, it has to hit and deal combat damage to them. But you get a copy artifact over and over and over again. That's pretty crazy overall. That's pretty crazy. Alright, so we're going to just take a peek at this real quick. Top couple cards, see what's going on. Well, they won't load again. Some of them will. Oh, there's Gilded Goose. Food token. Food token, yeah. I was thinking of something else. Oh, Shimmer Dragon. So powered up. They give you a completely working deck here. Like, you could definitely win a game in joint commander easily. There's There's no negative here, that's for sure. They gave you all the tools. Like Chaos Warp is in here. Stroke of Genius is in here. Jeez. Here it is. Whenever, yeah, there's your gold token right there. Curse of Opulence. Okay. I don't know. There's so much, and I haven't even looked at the new set yet. So let's kind of switch over. Got a bajillion cards. I'm excited when I look at new sets like this. It's just that it's like I built my decks. Like let me bring up my deck. So I built this deck. It was totally fine. Had a good power level. I like it a lot. I like all the cards in it. I win games with it. It's fun to play. Alright, like I'm doing library steal, graveyard manipulation steal, and couple like very synergistic effects, graveyard manipulation, whatnot. I guess I could replace this dragon with one of the other new cards that does a draw effect. That's a creature. There was a new card that I saw that could easily replace this dragon. It costs 5. It draws like 3 cards, and then you can play a card for free afterwards, and it's a 5/4, and there's literally no downside. But then there's nothing wrong with this dragon itself. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a 5/5 that draws me cards and has ward the first turn when it's untapped. So, and I just don't know, like when I look through here, what I would replace, because I'm mostly happy with this deck as is. I recently changed out like Necrotic Hex and River's Rebuke for other things, just because River's Rebuke wasn't quite cutting the mustard. Necrotic Hex always costs too much, so that's why I got cut. So I put it in Expressive Iteration as like a different card draw effect in like the most previous recent build of this. Put in Capsize. I've literally just won games because of Capsize. Like, ran out of spells. Only thing I have left is Capsize. Keep capsizing for the win. So, let's see. Divide by 0 got cut for a different counter spell. Like, this deck does a lot of different things. I just recently put in Stinging Study because I can draw 7 cards and repower my hand. So there's nothing bad in this deck. Like, there just isn't. Like, I like everything about it. I like how it plays. It's fun to play with. But they just keep printing more and more crazy stuff, and you get tired of like retooling your decks after a while. Alright, so we're gonna skip the flip side section because we're gonna end up having to go back to it anyway. So nope, still a flip side. Flip side. Lands here or there. Oh, here's the first one. Okay. I think I'm just gonna read anything that like stands out. And I'm probably gonna have to go through all the flip sides individually. So oh, okay. 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker if it's white or blue. Actually, extremely necessary because they just keep making creatures bigger and bigger and cheaper, and red has a really hard time dealing with that. So. Well, that's a really cool art. Karn holding the head up of Elish Norn. I was really surprised to see Omen Hawk when I saw it in booster, because it's a 1-drop that taps for 2. Granted, that's only for abilities, but that's still really good. You could, I can't think of a deck currently to put that in, but at one point I was doing an artifact deck, and there's a whole bunch of blue things that tap for 2 like that, and a lot of the cards have abilities anyway you would need to tap for mana, so that's super relevant in some deck builds. So, enters the battlefield, incubate 3x times. So, I'd have to pay at least 3 mana, and then it'd be 1 for 3 mana, and then. And I don't know if I really want to play that. So, 2, 4, 5 mana. So, 5 mana. You get 3 times 2, so 6. It'll incubate 3x times. So you incubate twice for 5 mana. Next turn it'd be free to do one of them. I don't know if you'd do more than 5 mana though. I mean, you could, but paying 7 for that effect kind of sucks, so I'd rather not. Oh, I do like the new green draw direction they're going in. Mill draw for green. It's such a bummer. My whole green deck, mono green, is totally not made for this at all. But then again, why would you do this and not play black or something else to easily return things to the battlefield directly, which would be like green, black, white, to do that, which honestly, I think we were just looking at that. Is that green, black, white? Where is it? It's, I think it's top one. Top one. Is it green, black, white? It is not green, black, white. It is just black, white. That was interesting. Huh. But you don't need to do this. You could also do it blue, black, white, and use a blue mill effect. You could do red, because red has draw, discard, or discard, draw. The only effects, I mean, even black has mill effects now with Surveil. So I guess it really could just be black, white, mill effect now because of Surveil. Sacrifice Urn of Godfire, destroy target creature or enchantment. Desperation kill in a monocolored deck. Rather not. Not unless you have some way to dramatically decrease this cost for this ability. Even that 1-drop that taps for 2 up above would not be good enough for this. No. And you gotta question, why would you do this anymore? Like, why would you try and make things like this work when they print such overpowered stuff? So... even more treasure token effect. So it gets a counter first time each turn. So you only get to do it once, but it's still really worth it. Limited though. Not really. I wouldn't see that in Commander. So you get a sapling, then it dies, then you get another sapling. That's not bad. Not good. Not bad. Guess if you had a sapling deck. So... I was thinking about making a Lurrus deck a long time ago. And I happened to get a Lurrus in a booster pack today. So Lurrus. Did I spell Lurrus? Oh no, I don't know how to spell Lurrus. Crud. Let's see if we can Google and auto fix ourselves. Pretty sure it's Lurrus. No, Magic Gathering. There it is. Ah, it's 2 R's. Okay. So I got one of these in a booster pack. Is this banned in Commander? Legality, please. No, it's legal in Commander. Okay. I mean, I don't care about the champion ability. Each permanent card in your starting deck has mana value 2 or less. This card is your chosen champion. You may put it into your hand. So it's your commander, so you really don't care about the champion ability, so it's irrelevant. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a permanent spell with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard. So... I was really curious on this because you could really crush somebody with like Lion's Eye Diamond and Diamond Lion and just get something free every single turn. Or a land, even a land. And you could blink it too because you got white. So you could do this more than once per turn and have some like really high synergy value. And honestly, it kind of fits one of the decks I used to try and make with the black-white return. And there's a brand new pre-made deck for black-white return. And Luris doesn't even have to be the... Honestly, is that other commander better than Luris? Let's go back to black-white spamming craziness. Was it near the top? Was it this one? Yeah, I think, yeah, it was this one. New card, craziness, yeah. Not that one. This one. Whenever you cast an extort spell, return target non-land permanent card. Well, I guess it's not abusable because you're exiling it, but still pretty abusable. Yeah. All that. That's it. I'll think about it. So. It's another Phoenix that does graveyard return. For one, can't block. I don't know if I really care for that. I guess it's a discard target. Like you're purposely discarding this all the time because you want to pay the one to get it back. So I guess it works in that respect. But I don't feel like I'm ever playing this normally. I guess that's the point though. Oh, Botanical Brawler. Very powerful uncommon. I saw this in a pack. And it's battlefield 2+1/+1 counters on it. When one or more +1/+1 counters are put on another permanent you control, if it's the first +1/+1 counter, then put on that permanent this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Botanical Brawler. So it limits you a little bit, but it's still kind of ridiculous. Like if you have a couple creatures in play, put 3 counters on 3 creatures. This gets 3 counters, and that's more than good enough. That's more than good enough. Like beyond more than good enough. This is pretty close to rare level, honestly. Like very high powered uncommon. So then again, rare level today is way up there. So old rare level, I guess, or let's just call it good uncommon. So ooh, counter target spell with mana value 2 or less, or counter target red or green spell with mana value 6 or less. So definitely worth playing as a sideboard card. Cosmic Hunger is good, definitely playable. I don't really care for fight that much. I much rather play cards like this. Ooh, Deep Root Wayfinder deals combat damage to a player or battle. Surveil one. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So that's pretty good. I was definitely trying to make a Lord Winggrace deck that worked off of this effect, because I was absolutely not like redoing one of my old decks, the current mono green deck, to make this function. I'd much rather use a new deck. I suppose I should actually pick out the cards that I find decent from the main set. For commander wise anyway, because that's the format I play. I don't think there's anything on the first page. Let me go back to the first page quick. None of these. These are all double face. None of the double face. I don't think there's anything like worth looking at or putting in a deck, really. Not even this, no. So not really. Okay, so back to page 2. So I will put this from the main set into my master card pool pile for future deck ideas. Because this is kind of how like most card pool searches go. You get 1 or 2 cards here or there. Not everything's a home run. Not everything is the insane madness that is Commander home runs over and over again on every single card that they print these days. It's just nuts, honestly. Ah, that's a sad card. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on Dust Legion Duelist, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Well, they made it fair. I guess it's fair. You get a counter, you draw a card, and you need that effect in this type of small creatures soldier deck, so I actually like this effect, the Furnace Gremlin. So Furnace Gremlin dives, incubate X, where X is his power. I really did try and make a deck around that, and you could make a deck around that with current cards for the dies effect, power effect. I feel like they made it better though with all the new counter stuff. I have to say. Oh, it's a Phyrexian pumper. That's interesting. I like that. Unexpected, but I like it. Ooh, sacrifice an artifact or creature or return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's spicy. Hmm. Oh, gotta read these. Yeah, they're turned sideways. Maybe I can read it sideways. Let's see. No, that's really uncomfortable. It's okay. When invasion of Azul enters the battlefield, target player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker and loses 1 life. Okay, cost 2, not bad. You have to kill it for 4 damage, which is really easy. So what's the upside? Menace. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on Ashen Reaper if a permanent was put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn. So you could probably make that happen on the same turn, unless you're playing this turn too. So you're killing something. You deal damage to the battle. It's a weird, interesting new version of Planeswalker / enchantment. Okay, but anyway, I kind of wonder if this could have. Nah, probably couldn't have been an enchantment. Just. I don't know how it would have flipped otherwise if it was an enchantment. Probably would have cost like extra mana or something. What if I blink this though? Definitely want to blink this effect. Because I don't want to have creatures in play. I have a deck rumbling around in my head. I was just thinking to myself, what if I don't want to play Mana Acceleration? What if I just don't want to do that? What colors would I play? And the answer is more like black-red in Commander for like heavy control in black and a lot of burn in red. And I know I looked this up before. It was Lurrus would actually be really good for. Yeah. Hold on, let me find this card I'm thinking of. I think it's a giant type. It's a giant. No, I don't know what the name of it is. It's definitely a red-black giant, and it is legendary. There's that many giants. It's this type of effect though, or is well that looks like the artwork for it. Set all time. Red black giant. I should have done multicolors. I'll know it when I see it. There it is. So I was wondering about this as a commander. When Kroxa enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escapes. So you're going to sacrifice it. When Kroxa enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card, then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. So I was wondering what built-in commander discard would look like. And I'm not exactly on board with this. Because you don't get to pick. And discarding 1 card is really weak. Like, you do it a second time for 4, who really cares? And then I know there was another just straight up mono black commander that did him to Torak for 4. Anyway, this is one of the ideas rolling around in my head. Like, for a different twist on playing the game. Because I was just thinking, everything is so powered up now. Wouldn't it be fun if you don't get to play your spells? Oh, that really amazing broken spell? Oh yeah, you discarded that. Sorry. That would be tons and tons of fun. I feel like I could do that in Luris. Permanent spell with mana value 2 or less. Like, there's definitely a lot of permanent spells that cost 2 or less that do discard effects. Oh, there's a whole bunch of these. Whole bunch of sideways reading coming up. Oh boy. Jeez. Boom. Okay, pause there. It's a rare, uncommon. Okay. Invasion of Argamon and his battlefield, create a treasure token, then you may discard a card if you do draw a card. That's fair. What is the upside? Enter the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, search your library for a land card or battle card, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your library. So that's also fair. So I guess the question is the treasure token worth it for 2? I definitely want, I just can't help but think, I want to blink these cards. That's my first thought when I see these battle cards. I'm really against temporary discard effects. What's the upside? Beginning or end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that attack this. Oh, the upside's really good. Oh man. Fine. Creatures you control gain hexproof, and oh, it's really good. Jeez. So, built-in pump effect, built-in save effect. Jeez, really good overall. I don't have a token deck in mind for this, but very good. Let's see. Really? Enters the battlefield, search your library and or graveyard for a non-human creature with mana value X or less and put it onto the battlefield. If you do, search your library this way, shuffle it. So that costs 1 less than Court of Calling. So you're like understanding what we're looking at here. Granted, it says non-human. Who cares? Like, who cares? Why are you searching for a human? They don't have ridiculous abilities most of the time. What's the second side? Is this a rare? It is a rare. And it only is 6. Damn. This is one of those up there rares. Reach. For each non-human creature you control, you may have that creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. Oh, so you attack for 8. Guaranteed damage. Okay. I'm trying to think of a downside. I literally can't think of a downside. This is better than Court of Calling. Yes, Court of Calling has Convoke. Yes, it's an instant. But this costs 1 less. That is important in Commander. Very important. And that is a powered up as you can get. Oh, is that the wrong name side? What do I need? Invasion of oh, no, I guess not. That's what it is. Okay. Both. Description. The fact that it searches Graveyard puts it above Court of Calling. I almost have to change a tutor in my deck now because of this. I just put back in Worldly Tutor too. Just recently. Amazing card. Very, very good. I would definitely play this in mono green or any deck that splashes green. This tutor's amazing. It graveyard tutors, like, jeez. And as battlefield, look at top 5 cards of your library, and reveal a permanent card from among them and put into your hand. Put the rest of them above in order, so it draws you a card for 2, which is very good. Whenever you cast a spell, Belligerent Regisaur gains indestructible until it turns. There's no downside. You would probably be playing that type of effect normally in green, so you get a 4/3 afterwards. Another artifact commander card. Okay. I don't have any issue creating tokens. Okay. I'm definitely on board with sack my creature, exile their creature. Whenever a creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature and each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. Ah, it's a creature type effect. I didn't see that coming. I don't know. I like the effect. I like the first part. I don't care for the second part because I'm not a creature type kind of guy, but I definitely like it. Okay, so create a bunch of knights with vigilance. I like it. So it's a knight type commander effect. Or even if you don't play knights, it just pumps itself essentially. Oh damn. And you can not exile, but shuffle something into the library as a removal. This is like a version of Martial Coup without the blow up effect. No downside. It's good. It's definitely good. Yeah. So dragon deck, got it. Whenever dragon you control attacks, deals 2 damage to any target. Well, there's no downside to that. So you're probably have 2 dragons in your hand, so it's gonna deal 4. Just to be realistic. And then this flips, and you get a 4/4 that does damage on attack plus all your other dragons. So there's no downside. It's it's just another really good card. You have to play around, and if you already have a deck with it, then it works. It's just too much, honestly. Double prowess, really? Okay. So there's all kinds of rat cards that do discard 1 for like Luris and whatnot. You just have to kill them. So it's not a great idea, but you could do it. What else we got? If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on an artifact or creature you control, put that many +1/+1 counters or oh, +1. Okay, yep. And then it has it built in. To just do it. So you get 2 for 2 mana. It's kind of nuts, honestly. Alright. So what's the 6? No, it's another without paying its mana cost card that I have to consider for my deck. They printed a ton of them, a whole bunch recently. It's crazy. So I hate the first side. I don't care for looting effects. I don't need this. And then it costs 6 to flip it. Whenever a source deals damage to Rona, something obliterated, that source controller exiles card from their hand at random. They're never going to block this, just to be clear. Never going to block this. If they do block it, they're pretty desperate, okay? This is going to be killed, and the effect is not going to matter. Meh. Let's see. I was reading this earlier in a booster pack. Tax, create a tap token that's a copy of it. Put some counter on that token. Free 12 plus counter on Furnace Blessed Conqueror. Sacrifice the token to the next step. So you put a bunch of counters on this. You eventually flip it for 6. Seems kind of trashy. Yeah, I'd rather not do this. Rather not. Unless I can transform it without paying the 6. Like, yeah. I mean, this is not an incubator token, so I mean, getting 2 for 2 in red is very fair, but I don't really care for exile draw. And again, you gotta have like a really low mana cost to make this function, and you don't want to do this in Commander most of the time. You really don't. Well, I could probably get on board with this. Sacrifice another creature or artifact. Deals X damage to target opponent or battle, and you gain X life, where X is the sacrifice's permanent's mana value. So it's red. Okay. Beginning of combat on your turn, return up to 1 target artifact or creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, gains haste, exile the next end step. So This is the red X counterpart of that black-white deck we looked at earlier from the set, no less. Probably like mixes really well too. Not loading quite right. Yeah, they got scrap trawler in here. Definitely very powered up. I definitely like it. You don't even have to design around this. It could just be in the deck, and you could just later in the game sacrifice like a dragon or something, and then deal, I don't know, 5 to 8 damage just because you can, and then you gain X life, which puts this over the top of many other old cards with the double effect essentially. Could play this in my current deck, but I don't have enough creatures to, again, make it function. So, playing more control planeswalker type stuff. This is disgusting. I'm not sure what to think about this. It only costs 3. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, you may cast a spell with lesser mana value that shares a card type with it from your hand without paying its mana cost. And if you don't, you get a 2/1 Monkey Pirate token. So there's no downside. That's kind of gross. I don't know. It's just free spells. Like, you play that in Modern, I guess, and you play this, you draw a card, you play a draw effect, and then your burn spell is free. And you play instant draw cards, and then you draw a card, and then your burn spell is free. It's is this a Storm deck? I feel like this is Storm. Ridiculous either way. Either way, ridiculous. How is this different from Restoration Angel? Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but costs less and slightly smaller, and creature artifact control return to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. Cost 3. I mean, Restoration Angel has been too slow for a very long time, so. Non-angel creature you control. Okay. So the new card's a little bit better. A little bit. It doesn't have flash, but I don't know. Costing 3 is kind of a big deal. Oh, here was an uncommon Snapcaster Mage. I was really excited about this earlier. Enters the battlefield, you may pay X. When you do, you may cast our instant or sorcery card. We have an X from your graveyard without paying its mana cost, but you're paying its mana cost, so it's kind of weird. If that spell we put in a graveyard, exile instead. So it's literally Snapcaster Mage for 1 more mana. Literally. I wonder if I should play this. I don't know. Halo Forger. I don't know if I really need any more graveyard return. Oh, what's the flip side? Flip side. Nope. No. Okay, I am back. I haven't really been taking many cards out and putting them in my card pool, but there's all kinds of effects. It's kind of crazy how many kinds of effects there are. Put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your library, then draw that many cards plus 1. Well, that's interesting. Huh. I mean, that's absolutely worth it. Yeah, it's a good way to shuffle away garbage. Or honestly, just play Shieldred. I was thinking of that as well as a control commander. But, of course, Shieldred's not red. So, we got to tweak it a little. Battle. Here's the front side, yeah. Even more battles. I didn't expect there to be more after I went through the first like bunch of them, but alright. Night token. +1/+1. That's good. Okay, so they mill, they discard a card, and you get to draw a card. The mill's irrelevant most of the time. Discard's kind of irrelevant. The draw's okay, and the plus side is... it's an ability steal. Huh. Gain 4 life and draw a card. And then you get a 4/4 angel. That's kind of crazy. Enters the battlefield, deals 4 damage to another target, battle or opponent, and 1 damage to up to 1 target creature. So you could blink that really hard. Yeah. If a non-creature source you control would deal damage to a creature, battle, or opponent, so creature, battle, or so just not planeswalker. Deals that much damage plus 2 instead. I mean, just the 4 damage for 3 mana by itself is really tempting to play with. Yeah, I'm gonna put this into my consideration card pool. Well, let me just go over to the green deck quick and see if there's anything I could swap out for that graveyard search. That kind of already exists in another card, but it costs like like 10. The other card. Oh, that's what did I just do? No, my decks. Omnath version 3-4. Oh, Nisa. I was thinking about changing Nisa for a different draw effect. It's also the only graveyard effect I have. I could replace it with that tutor. I don't know. Let me go back and review that tutor again. What was it? It was a big, bad old creature. Creature or something. Be nice if you could just color sort here. I don't know what name it was. Too many creatures. What was it? It was I think it was enchantment / creature. Could be in any of these. Crud, I'll have to find it. There's only 120 here. Go through it quick. Is it not going to be listed as a creature? That would suck. Oh my god, it's not going to be listed as a creature. Oh, I should have grabbed the name. Oh, that sucks. Is it a battle? It is a battle. Okay. So I don't care about this right now. You get an 8/8, becomes direct 8 damage on attack. That's sort of irrelevant. Can I see the image of... No. Okay. Sure. Let's... I can't select that either. Okay, it's a battle. Put it onto the battlefield. So invasion of Ikora. Maybe not. Maybe not. Because it doesn't do the function I want. I'll probably be searching for a mana accelerator. That cost 5. It's still really, really good. I gotta put it in the consideration for green up here. Oh, crud. Paste this plain text, please. There we go. Oh, this was ridiculous. I played against this. Beginning of your end step, untap up to 4 target creatures. Woo! Might as well just say all creatures, because 4 is pretty oppressive. The whole non-creature spells you have in Convoke is basically 4 free mana. I don't see a downside. This is essentially mono blue mana acceleration for non-creature spells, which I don't know. This might work in one of my current decks. Rafik, maybe? Untap? Probably not. It's tough. It's tough. Maybe. Search your library for an Aura God or Demigod card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your life result. Aura hits pretty much anything. God or Demigod is interesting. Let's see. Oh, you have to have 3 other enchantments to give it lifelink and indestructible. Whenever another enchantment enters the battlefield under control, draw a card. So that's pretty good. There's no downside. Not overpowered though, like a lot of the new stuff is, just like good. So many more pages. It's getting late. I do have to work in the morning. I have to breeze through this or continue this tomorrow. It's almost 1. Let's see. We got 2 more pages to go though. I think I'm gonna stop for tonight. So I'm on page 3, March of the Machine. There's a bajillion deck ideas out there. Like, I don't even know. Like, this is so overpowered. It just really is. Play it in combination with Loris and make it even more overpowered. Well, anyway, I guess just buy one of these commander decks if you don't have one built already. As far as I can tell, they're all good. They're all appropriately built. They're all powered up. There's no downside. Let's just like peruse a little bit through the first one again. I mean, you will just blatantly get the cards you need that you would have put in the deck anyway. At least, like, a lot of them. Like, this card is so nuts, too. Whenever one or more Phyrexians control attack, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield if its mana value is less than or equal to its total power. So 3 just by itself is like most things you would be returning. Just by itself. Crazy. Honestly, completely crazy. And there's other cards that are white that from the previous commander decks that they did that are crazy like this. I don't know. I kind of want to make another commander deck. I kind of don't. And I wanted to make this type of return deck before. It's just so much to go over. It really is. It's really a crazy amount of work to build a commander deck. It's like overwhelming because you build your deck, it's perfect and good and amazing, Like, this deck is perfect, good, and amazing, and so are my other decks. But then you have to keep changing them just because they keep printing new cards. And eventually the power level of your cards is just like not high enough anymore. And then change it again. I don't know. Anyway, crazy stuff has been printed per always. They just keep pushing that power level higher, higher, and higher. Interesting that they have a new card type now. I really didn't see that coming, but I suppose it kind of had to, because they are severely running out of game space. Yeah, severely running out of game space. Like, they really got to do like heavy creature type specific game space cards, which they did in this set so far from what I've seen with Phyrexian. I guess new cards like this too, but either way, I think this is it for tonight. I will continue this. I'll try and continue this tomorrow as long as I'm not too tired. Anyway, this has been Matthew over at Channel 35. HND the hand. Please like, share, and subscribe, and catch me on YouTube. And have a good night. Bye.